All right, so this is chapter 6, lesson 2, compound interest. All right, there's two kinds of interest in this world. The bad interest is when I spend too much money on my credit card and I don't pay my bill every month. So if you're going to have a credit card, which you will, pretty much most people do, you need to pay off your bill every month. And if you don't, it'll just get worse and worse, which means that you'll eventually be over your head and you'll get very overwhelmed and stressed out. So that's bad interest, because if you don't pay your credit card bill off each month, you get charged extra money by the credit card company, and then you are stuck paying this extra money in addition to what you already bought. So it's not good. That's bad interest. Good interest is when I save my money and the bank rewards me for keeping my money with them. So I could do this, I could earn interest on like a long-term savings account. I can earn interest when I open up certain kinds of like funds or things like that. So keeping your money in the bank, letting it sit there, and basically there's this phrase my dad used to say, or he still says it, let the little green guys work for you, which means the little green guys are like the money. So you let the money just sit there, and by keeping it and not spending it, then you just earn interest. So the little green guys are working for you. So I don't know, that was just one of his many funny phrases. So we're going to talk about compound interest. The word compound means that you earn interest on your new, I'll say amount, but the word amount really means balance. Okay, so you earn interest on the money that you've already earned. So I could be like earning interest on last week's, last month, let's do last month. Last month's money, maybe I earned like $3 extra. So now instead of $100, I have $103. So I earn interest now on $103, not just the 100. So interest adds to your balance, to your amount, and then you earn money off of that. And then a compounding means that I could compound my interest every day, every month, every week, every year. There's different options. Okay. So let's talk about what each of the letters mean. The A is the total amount that you would have after however long, T years. P is the principal. This is the money that you invest. What do you start with? What's the money that you first had? Okay. The rate, the interest rate. This is going to be your percentage, but you have to change it to a decimal. So like 6% becomes 0.06, things like that. Okay. N, the number of times that the interest is compounded per year. So N is like the number, like if it's monthly, that's 12. If it's annually, that's 1 time a year. If it's monthly, that's 12 times a year, right? T is the time, and we always do that in years, okay? So you're gonna need a calculator for this. Can you guys do that? Okay. All right, so here we go. A customer purchased a television set using a credit card. This is bad interest. Here's the deal, guys. If you can't afford to buy an $800 credit card, sorry, television. If you can't afford to spend $800 on a television, don't buy the TV. Okay? Because if you can't pay off your credit card at the end of the month, then you're going to be really regretting it 3 months later. So, a customer purchased a television set for $800 using a credit card. The interest is charged on any unpaid balance. So if you don't pay off the bill at the end of the month, whatever's left over rolls over into the next month on your credit card statement. And they send you another bill next month, and you still have last month's TV on your credit card. That's not good. So there's 18% compounded monthly, sorry. Monthly is 12 times. 18% is going to be 0.18, right? If the customer makes no payment for 1 year, oh my gosh, don't be this person. How much is owed at the end of the year? Okay, so you really, really don't want to be this person. I don't know what your parents tell you about credit cards, but you absolutely should talk to them about it and say, what's your experience with a credit card? Is your experience good? Is your experience bad? What advice can you give me? Because I'm only giving you my opinion. I pay off my credit card every month, but I'm also a math teacher. So I like super care about all things numbers and money. And I don't want to go into debt either. So credit card debt, when you owe money on your credit card, can cause fights. If you're married, can cause you to get upset or depressed, or it never is a good thing, ever, ever, ever. Okay, so here I go. I have to use this formula, P, 1 plus my interest rate over the number of times that it's compounded, raised to the power of the number of times it's compounded, times the time. This said end of the year. Time is 1 year. Okay, so here we go. Instead of P, I'm going to put how much the television cost. $800. 1 plus my interest rate, my R is 0.18, right? 18%, 0.18 over N, the number of times it's compounded, monthly, 12 divided by 12, raised to the N, number of times, 12 times 1 year. Okay, so I have my fancy schmancy calculator. I have 2 calculators. I have like my basic, but then I have this one. So here's the deal with you guys. Depending on what kind of calculator you have, let me teach you how to do this. Okay, ready? If I have a basic calculator like on my right, I'm going to have to do 0.18 divided by 12 first, because then I need to know that this is 1.015 raised to the 12 times 1, raised to the 12th. Okay, and then maybe on my calculator, I have to do the 12th power first. Maybe I can't do 800 times 1.015 to the 12th. I might have to go, slower. So that's on a basic calculator. Now this one, I'm going to be able to do 800 times the quantity, parentheses, right? 1.015. And then to the exponent, that's the caret, that's this symbol. It's called a caret. To the 12th power. And then I press enter. So here we go. At the end of 1 year, I owe $956.49, which means I I pay an extra $156.49 because I ignored it. I ignored my bill for a year. Okay, I'm trying to make this as negative as possible because if there's one thing that I can just like emphasize, don't get into credit card debt. And I'm like staring at you in the face. Do not let yourself get into credit card debt. Do not spend money if you don't have it. If you can't afford the new iPhone, don't buy the new iPhone. You guys need to be smart about this because no one's going to get you out of debt. You just got to work your butt off and then sacrifice. And I don't even know. Like, you're not going to have anything nice because you aren't responsible to begin with. You have to be responsible and have self-control. It's all about self-control. Okay? Self-control. Sometimes there's things that happen, like, again, my dad calls them a rainy day. So like your car breaks down, you get a flat tire, and you have to put the brand new tires on the credit card. Great. Well, then maybe you shouldn't be going out to dinner for the rest of the month because you've got to pay off your credit card bill for the tires. Okay? You guys have any questions before I go on to the next one? What questions do you have about credit cards or anything?
What's the difference between like credit and debit? I never understood that.
Oh, so a credit card is the card that I have and I spend on it, I charge on it, and I don't get a bill until 30 days later, the month. Okay. A debit card is something that I can take to the ATM and put in the ATM machine. I can also spend at the grocery store on it as well, but that money comes right out of my checking account, like my bank account in the bank. So it's the money that I have available. If I make $500, then the debit card is the card that I use to spend that $500 with. A debit card is like cash. I could go withdraw, $200 out of the bank instead and carry cash around if I want. Okay. So there's that. That's a debit versus credit. I love all things money. Like, I love explaining this and like educating you guys on this. So, okay. Example 2, I have a bunch of different scenarios: annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly. So here we go. I'm going to set this up. I'm going to use my formula up here on top the same way I did before. I deposit, this is good interest. I deposit $1,500 into an account. It pays 6%. My R is 0.06. The number of times that it's compounded is going to be given to me each here. Like annually, the number of times is going to be 1. N is 1. Semi-annually, N is 2. Quarterly, 4 times a year, N is 4. Monthly, N would be 12. 12 months in a year. My T is going to be 1 year. My P is the 1,500. Okay. So I'm going to set them all up. I'm going to set all 4 up, and then let's see. Again, I have to look at another time. Oh, I'm good. Okay. So 1,500 parentheses 1 plus my interest rate divided by the N, 0.06 divided by N, annually means 1 time a year, raised to the N times T. N is 1, T is 1. 1 times 1. Okay. So I would do 1,500 to the, well, if you simplify, you'll see that it's pretty easy. 1 plus 0.06 divided by 1, that's easy. 1.06 all raised to the first power. All right, B. 1,500. We can do the math. If somebody wants to do that math for me and tell me later, great. I'll have 4 people do A, B, C, and D. Just calculate it out. But I'm going to write it and simplify it for you. I just want to get them all down. 1 plus rate 0.06 divided by 2, my number of times semi-annually, twice a year, 2 times 1. I'm going to do C, quarterly, 1,500 okay. 1 plus 0.06 quarterly. There's 4 quarters in a year. They're 3 months each. 3, 6, 9, 12. There's 4 quarters in a year. So divided by 4, raised to the power of n times t, 4 times 1. Monthly, $1,500. 1 plus 0.06. Monthly is 12 times to the n times t. 12 times 1. Okay. So let me write them now simplified. .06 divided by 4, 1.015 to the 4th. Oh. All right. 0.06 divided by 12 is 1,500 parentheses 1.005 raised to the 12th. Okay. I need somebody to work on D, to put this into your calculator for D. I need someone to put C into their calculator. I need somebody to put B into their calculator, and I need somebody to put A into their calculator. So, do I have any volunteers? Peter, which one do you want to do?
Hello?
Hi, I can hear you. Peter, can you try again?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll do A.
go ahead.
A is 1,590.
Okay, Peter, because it's so cool, tell everybody like where you are exactly right now at this moment.
A. Oh, I mean after 1 year, like your whole in your whole account, the money in your whole account.
Right. And I was also asking Peter, tell everybody what country you're in right now.
Or do I have to?
Oh, okay. Anyways, he's not in the
I
United
mean,
States.
yes, okay.
So
I'm
cool.
in Indonesia.
He's in Indonesia, you guys. How
Yes.
exciting. I love it. No, I guess if you didn't want to, but we're not going to come find you. Don't worry. Okay. But I think it's so cool to be like, you can remote learn anywhere.
Okay.
I could go to the snow and right now teach you or something. I don't know. Does somebody want to do B? Sonia? Eugene, do you want to do C?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Sonia, do you want to do B or do you have that done yet?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
$1,591.35.
For B,
Yeah.
I got um 1,591 and 35 cents. Good. All right, C. Someone else.
I got 1,592.04.
Okay, so I'm earning a little more and more money, $1, $2 extra. Okay, and then I never. So D.
I got $1,592.52.
And 52 cents. Okay. Good. So I'm making just after 1 year, it's really just like a couple dollars difference, but still you can see, like, what if I had even more money, you know, then it would be even better. Okay. So there's that. So I'm going to turn the page. Okay, guys. Okay. The next one is going to be compounded continuously, but the formula involves an E. Let me go to the beginning. Okay. So E, I want to practice. Sorry, there you go. E is a natural number. There's a mathematician by the last name of Euler, and he discovered this number, and you can kind of see it down here. This is E, and so E is 2.7 is what we're just 7.8. I mean, I'm okay with you just saying 2.7. That's fine. Okay. So what you would do is for this, I'll just do one of them because due to time we have to keep going because I have all example 4 and example 5 to do as well today. But it would be like P, how much I invested, and then E to the R times T, which means my time is 1 year. So E, which by the way, in like, what can I do? Let me try it on this one. E to the R times T. Now remember, you have to move the decimal over 2 spaces. 0.075 times 1 year. So I would do 0.075. See how it's E to the 0.075? There's a button on your calculator that says E to the X, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to figure that out first, and then I'm going to multiply it by 1,500 times 1,500. $1,616.82. So the $1,500 became $1,616.82. Okay, continuously is a better way to earn interest, you earn more money. Okay, but we're not going to go through all these problems. So that's how to do 3A. Okay. Definition. The natural base E is irrational. It is defined as follows. As n approaches positive infinity, the number n, and then we've seen this before. This is what we did in the problem on page 1. E is approximately congruent to 2.718. So 2.718. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to simplify, and this E, I'm not going to plug in 2.7 for these E's. I'm just going to simplify like I would any exponent. So it's like, what's 20? So example A, what's 24 over 8? I would say it's 3. And then e to the 8th over e to the 5th, I'm going to do 8 minus 5, e to the 3rd. And all I'm doing is simplifying. In the next example, I'm going to actually work it out. So we're practicing properties of exponents right now. E to the -2 plus 6. Remember how you add the exponents? E to the 4th. B, I'm going out of order, sorry. B, first you do the coefficients, 6 divided by 2. And then I'm going to do 5x minus 3x, e to the 5x minus 3x, 2x. Let's go to C. I'm just working out, simplifying. -5 to the 3rd, e to the 2 times 3, -125, and then e to the 2 times 3, e to the 6th. I'm going to go now to E and F and G. E, 5 times 4, 20. So E is just another one of the symbols that we're going to use in math, another one of the representations, okay? Like pi is 3.14, E is 2.71. So multiplying, add the exponents, 2x plus 4x, e to the 6x. Then e to the 5 minus 2, e to the 3rd. Okay. Real quick, e to the 0 equals 1. E to the 1st equals 2.71. And we'll just leave it at that, 2.71. We can't use all the digits. Like when you put it in a calculator, the calculator, and I did E with the calculator, it used all the digits. But if we're just going to type it in. So can you guys look on your calculator and see if you can find the E button? Because right now we're actually going to work it out. My E on this one is above my ln. ln is a way to represent the natural root of E. So they're like inverses of each other, kind of. Opposites of each other, like square root and squared, right? Okay. E to the 2/3. All right, here's how we're going to write it. I'm not just going to write 2 over 3. I'm going to show you to simplify. Remember this, how the 3, when I have a fractional exponent, how the 3 can become the root. e squared. The third root of e squared. So that, actually, I need to do it on this calculator. I hope you guys saw, but in the important section, I gave you the graphing calculator, downloadable graphing calculator for your Chromebook. So you can actually download a graphing calculator and you don't have to ever buy one. All right. The third root, hold on. I have to locate it again. Okay, this is driving me crazy. The third root. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I need to do it on this one then. Can't find it. My third root is right here. So I'm gonna first find out what's the third, what's e squared, which means I'm gonna go on this calculator, the second shift e squared. So it's the third root of 7.38. I mean, I could go on and on, but since it's already in my calculator, I'm gonna now do the shift and I'm gonna do the third root right here. And you've got to play around with your calculator too, okay? Shift third root. And let me make sure. So that's how my calculator worked. 1.94 or 5. I could round. Let's go 2 digits. Tenths, hundredths place. Okay. E to the negative 2 is 1 over e squared. 1 divided by, I can do it on this calculator now. I'm going to switch back and forth so you guys can see it on both. 1 divided by e to the second power. Okay. And I'm going to do enter. 0.135. So I'm just wow, you have to be able to see the paper, sorry. So I'm just evaluating e to the fourth, that's easy. E to the fourth. 54.6. I just want you guys to get in practice of how to do this. The third root of e, change it to a root. The third root of 2.7. Well, I did that already on this one. I could just type in 2.7 and I could do shift the third root. 1.39. Everybody clear on this? So either calculator that you use, I want you to be able to know how to do both. So e to the 1.2. Okay. 1.2 e to the 1.2. And I'm running out of space, so I'm going to do 3.32 over here. Okay. Now, check this out, guys. The e to the negative 1/5. Okay, so let's go slow. E to the negative 1/5. I'm going to do that first, which means 1 over, right, the fifth root of e. You guys clear on what I'm doing? So then I'm going to do what is I'll tell you. 1 over the 5th root of e is 0.8187. So that again is playing on your calculator, trying to find out where you can do the 5th root. So everybody's calculator is different. So that's, and then it's 2 times that. Which is 1.637. All right. So I'm stopping for notes today at example 5 because we're just going to practice calculating. Now, your homework problems. Let me show you. Okay. There's 2 things I've got. This is 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So here's 1, 2, and 3 that you guys need to do on this page. And I circled them and it's there. Actually, I can stop recording now. Sorry.